March 8th is International Women's Day. And today on the Tequila Hombre, in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of a tequila that's not only made by all women, but also owned by women for women. This was made for women. Right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello, welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre. The Tequila Hombre channel is the #1 place for unbiased, honest reviews and information with some of the best tequila and agave spirits information available on the internet and social media today. And today, well, we're going to honor International Women's Day, which is March 8th, by highlighting and talking about a tequila and doing a tasting review. I haven't tasted this yet. Of a tequila that's not only made by all women, owned by women, but is also named for women and supports women. So that tequila brand is 1953. Now, the reason why this is called 1953 was because 1953 in Mexico was the year that women got the right to vote. So, little background information about this tequila. Now, for those of you that don't know or normally follow my channel, all of my reviews are honest, unbiased reviews. I'm not getting paid by the brand for this. They did send the bottle for an honest and unbiased review. And that's exactly what they're going to get. But I'm going to give you information that a lot of the other reviewers and stuff out there don't give you. And a lot of the information I'm giving you isn't stuff that was given to me by the brand, but instead is from my own experiences, because I happen to know all the people that were involved in the process of making this tequila extremely well. I know them extremely well because I've been to the distillery. I've dined with the owner of the distillery, had dinner with her. She is like my hermana. She is like my sister in Mexico. And the person that makes this tequila for him is also a good friend of mine. I've visited with her many times and spent many times talking to her. And I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that I know about him. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive into this brand and then get into the tasting portion. So let's do it. All right, so 1953 tequila in this, beautiful bottle. And, people say, sometimes they say the bottles can't feature great tequilas. That's been proven false by several brands. Another brand that's actually made by the same people that are involved in this brand proved that false a long time ago. So 1953 comes out of NOM 1604, which the name of the distillery is called Bonanza. Now, Bonanza is a little distillery that's right next to, attached to basically, Casa San Matias Distillery. Now, Casa San Matias Distillery is owned and run by an amazing woman. Her name is Carmen Villarreal. And Carmen has been doing tequila for a long time. She's a purist. She doesn't believe in doing additives or anything like that and taking shortcuts. She believes in making good quality tequila, but also, in some instances, keeping the tequila affordable and stuff. But she knows what she's been doing. She's been doing it for a long time. She was one of the first women distilleries in Mexico, women owners of a distillery in Mexico. She's amazing. I've had the chance to get to sit and eat lunch with her and dinner with her several times. Matter of fact, she even tried to feed me bugs once at a dinner. I actually ate grasshoppers and worms. But it was interesting. We had a good time. So Carmen owns the distillery. Now and her daughter actually grows agave and supplied the agave for this brand. And then their master distiller, her name is Rocio. Now, I've known Rocio for a long time. When I first met Rocio, she was the barrel room person. She wasn't the master distiller at the time. Amazing woman. I enjoyed my time with her. And what was really cool, when I was doing barrel picks with her originally for some other brands that they do, I would sit across from her and we would match tasting notes, and our tasting notes matched up really well. To the point that we became friends. And every time I went to Casa San Matias to do a barrel select, she wanted to come personally to do the tasting and stuff with me. And so I've gotten to know her very well. A lot of people don't know about Rocio. She is a chemical engineer, which if you're not familiar with the engineers and stuff, chemical engineers are like some of the most respected engineers in that area. I know this. My father's a PhD chemical engineer. My brother's a chemical engineer. My father worked in product development in the food industry, and as well as on soaps and stuff for some companies. They pretty much like get to know all aspects of product development. They know process stuff. They know microbiology. They know chemical reactions and compounds. They get into the deep dive into things much more so than, say, a chemist or a microbiologist on their own. So her passion is microbiology, even though she's a chemical engineer. So she really knows how to do things with yeast and to create certain flavor profiles and the fermentation aspect. And a lot of people don't know this, but sometimes chemical engineers, when they do their thesis and stuff, their thesis may be on fermentation, which my father, his thesis was on fermentation, and I use him as a resource sometimes for some of the information that I get. He's a great resource. He has a lot of knowledge and stuff like that. So Rocio knows what she's doing when it comes to chemical reactions in the agave and the fermentation process, the yeast and stuff like that. She's an amazing woman, very capable, if not more capable than some of the guys that are out there making tequila. Now, the nice thing about all these women is they're very smart, very strong women. You don't want to mess with them. They're good people, though. Really nice people. And they love what they do. They love tequila. They love the flavors that tequila can bring, and they don't like, using additives and stuff to hide what the agave and stuff can bring. So let's talk now about how this particular tequila is made, so you get an understanding of what was used in the flavor development of this particular tequila. All right, so now we're going to dive into how this tequila is made. Take out a pencil and paper, or take out a notebook, or take some notes on this, because you're going to learn some stuff here that other reviewers, influencers and stuff aren't going to tell you or don't know because they don't have the experience and stuff that I do with the producers and with asking questions, with learning tequila production and what happens, okay? So the tequila comes out of NOM 1604, which is the name of the distillery is called Bonanza. It is attached directly to Casa San Matias. Been there many times. I know the distillery well. If I walk into Casa San Matias, they just let me walk around and do whatever I want. I know the distillery inside and out. I've even done a tour of the distillery, which you can see on this channel. So they use, which is owned by Carmen Real. So there's a woman-owned distillery. They used agave that was grown by Carmen's daughter. So woman-grown agave. The agave is between 6 to 8 years old. Harvested in the Los Altos region. So it's going to be sweeter, fruitier agave, because that's what typically you get in the Los Altos region, is a sweeter, fruitier agave. So when they harvest the agave, they then, of course, remove the cojoyo and stuff, and then they will cook the agave for 72 hours. Now, this makes a difference. A lot of people don't understand this or know this. So I'm going to tell you something that you probably never heard before. Hopefully you have. But if not, then you learn something new, which is great. So when you cook agave, normally brands will cook agave for 24 hours. They let it rest and cool down for another 24 so they can handle it. And they process and make tequila from it then. So when you take agave like that and you cook it for 72 hours, 3 times the time length, you can caramelize the sugars that are inside the oven. They're inside the agave. So by caramelizing it, it'll produce a chocolatey, caramelly note in the Blanco, naturally. No additives. But a lot of people think because a Blanco tequila has a chocolate note or a caramel note that they're using additives. That's not necessarily true. If they roasted the agave longer, they'll caramelize those sugars and it'll give it a chocolate caramelly kind of note to it. Yeah, it may not be some people's thing, but if somebody likes that, then they can get a caramelly, chocolatey kind of Blanco without additives, additive free. Okay, so after they roast the agave for 72 hours, they then take the agave and they extract the sugars from the agave fibers using a roller mill, which is perfectly great. The roller mill injects natural spring water into it, and they squeeze the agave fibers and get those beautiful sugars out of the fibers and ready to ferment. And then Rocio, who is the master distiller for Casa San Matias and for Bonanza, has her own proprietary blend of yeast that she created for the flavor profile of this tequila. They use proprietary yeast, which allows for a more controlled fermentation, and then you can control the flavor profile more. You don't get more off notes from using yeast that may not work as well in the environment that it's in. So they use a proprietary yeast blend, ferment for 72 hours. So cook for 72, ferment for 72, and then they twice distill in stainless steel pot stills with copper coils. And then after that, they take the tequila and they place it in previously used bourbon barrels for aging. And they age for 15 months in previously used bourbon barrels. Now, knowing Casa San Matias, they are partnered with the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So the majority of the barrels that they get are from Buffalo Trace bourbon. So my guess is that the bourbon barrels that were used came from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, because you basically can't throw a rock in their barrel room without hitting a barrel that says Buffalo Trace Distillery on it. Okay, so, and then after aging, they then bottle it. I didn't check the ABV on it, but let me see. The ABV on this is straight 40%. So it's diluted down to 40% ABV. And that is how we have 1953 tequila. So now that you know about the production of this, and you've got some inside information about kind of what to expect, let's dive down and do a tasting of this tequila and take a look at it and see what it's all about. All right, so I did get some literature from the brand on this when they sent the bottle for review, and they call this a super premium tequila. And being somebody that's been in the tequila industry as long as I am, I really don't like it when people use term super premium tequila. You know, as an aficionado, it's marketing lingo and stuff, which I understand. But I think the reason why they use super premium too is because they want to go after people that aren't as really deep into tequila as and understanding and stuff as I am, but are more of like your Clase Azul people that have a different perspective of what super premium tequila is, or like the Don Julio 1942 drinkers and stuff like that, which will spend a lot of more money on the tequila with a sweeter profile that's aged, type of thing. So, but those are additive tequilas, where this one is a natural alternative, supposedly, but we'll taste it and we'll see. So let's go ahead and pour a little bit in the glass. Like I said, I do honest reviews, and so super premium marketing lingo is what it is. It's marketing lingo. Okay, so the important thing for me is, does it taste good? And is it something I'd enjoy? So looking at it in the glass, so of course, we taste with our eyes, our nose, our mouth when it comes to tequila. It coats the glass beautifully. Look at that. So the legs and tiers are just now starting to form at the top. So it's kind of a nice viscous, oily mouthfeel to it. Looking at the tequila itself, it's a light straw color. The previously used bourbon barrels don't have a lot of color in them because the bourbon sat in them, especially for a long time. But I can probably guess it's going to have some nice bourbon notes in it too. So, But looking at the tequila, crystal clear, looks beautiful. Okay, so we taste with our eyes or nose or mouth. So let's see what we get on the nose on this. Really nice. I'm getting sweet cinnamon and baking spices. So it's not over oaked. And that's one thing that Rocio is really good at with their aging, is making sure that the oak doesn't overcome the agave. So I'm definitely picking up cinnamon and baking spices. I'm picking up a vanilla, almost like cream soda kind of note to it, which is nice. Hints of caramel are coming through, chocolate. Some light citrus, a nice honey top note that's coming through on it too. Nice sweet honey top note. But there's complexity to it. So you know there's not going to be additives when there's complexity to it. Because when they use additives, they seem to just envelope everything and take over the nose and the taste and just override anything. So there's a lot less depth to a tequila that has additives to it. But it smells delightful. It smells wonderful. So it smells really nice. Okay, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Now, this is my first sip of tequila for the day. So first thing we want to do, whenever you want to take a look and get tasting notes and stuff from a tequila, the first thing you want to do is just prepare your mouth for 40% alcohol, because your mouth's not used to it. So we got to do that first. So you just take a swig and just rinse it all around. Let your lips and gums and stuff get acclimated to it. And then they're like, okay, you're going to be hitting us with this stuff. Okay. And it gets set. All right, we're good to go. Salud. Coats the mouth beautifully. Really nice cinnamon and baking spice notes up front. You're getting vanilla. Nice, almost like cream soda note to it. Some citrus coming through. Hints of chocolate, some caramel. It's not extremely barrel heavy. Lots of cooked agave there. Lots of cooked agave on the end of it. Little hint of oak bitterness that kind of balances things out a little bit. Not overly sweet at all. This is a nice, enjoyable tequila. There's a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of kind of black licorice, anise black licorice notes that are coming through on it. The vanilla kind of hangs out for a little while with some caramel notes on the tongue. But I've tasted añejos and stuff that had a lot more caramel, a lot more vanilla. This still features a lot of the agave notes that I love to see in a nice aged tequila. This is really well done. It's a beautiful tequila. How would I rate this? I'd rate this as a solid 4 out of 5 agave. It's a solid tequila. It's delicious. Now, like the lowest price I saw this for online was around $165. Now, $165 for a tequila at this level, añejo, that's kind of pushing it for me. Not that I wouldn't recommend buying it. I think the bottle's beautiful. It's a nice mantelpiece bottle. It's definitely delicious and well done. But at $165, I think there's a lot better options out there for tequila that's even, I think, better than this. But I'm all about supporting women, so if it was me, I'd probably pick up one bottle just to keep on the shelf and and to share with people. But it wouldn't be something I buy continuously at this kind of price point. Now, if you're somebody that likes Glass Azul or 1942 and don't have the expansive collection of tequilas like I do and knowledge of brands that can deliver this kind of flavor profile, I can understand wanting to get into this. It's a really nice tequila. I would pick this over Glass Azul, over 1942, and over some of the sweeter additive tequilas that are out there as an alternative, and wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Not at all. So there you go. That's my honest perspective on this tequila. It's delicious. I will definitely enjoy this bottle with a good stogie. It'll be something I'm going to drink after dinner and enjoy with a good medium to full-bodied cigar, and drink a toast to the strong women in life. I'm a girl dad, and I've got a wife that's a very strong woman, and I appreciate them. And I support them just like I'll support the women behind this brand 100%. Sometimes when you buy tequila, sometimes you don't buy tequila because it's the best tequila that ever existed all the time. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes I pick tequila because I get the flavors of the people behind it. And this definitely delivers the personality and flavors of Carmen Villarreal and Rocio, the women that I know that are behind this brand. Well, there you go. If you like the information I shared in this episode, click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome. If you like honest reviews like the one I just did, and you want somebody that's going to give you the lowdown, honest information, honest background, all that stuff without sounding like a commercial, then you've come to the right place. Make sure you click the subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time I post a new review and new informational video that will help you in selecting tequila so you won't make a mistake when you're looking to buy tequila online or through a retailer. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, so keep watching. Keep trying some of the tequila I recommend. You want to try 1953? I definitely recommend picking up a bottle and giving it a try. It's delicious. You'll enjoy it. It's just going to be a little expensive for the first bottle, but it's well worth a try and well worth an addition to your collection. At this price point, though, it won't be something I'd recommend as a regular purchase, a regular sipper. You can find other brands that are really good for half the price on the market. Salute. Bye, guys. All right, we're at a point in the review where a lot of people have already left. As soon as I start doing my outro, they leave if they haven't left sooner. So this is for those of you that are people that hang around and watch all the content and appreciate the information and stuff that I give. I have an invitation for you. I'm starting a new podcast called The Hombre Cave, where we're going to dive deep down in the world of tequila, wine as well, and sports. So I'd love for you to come join me. You're going to learn a lot about the world of tequila, but also how that's intertwined with wine and also how it's intertwined with sports. We're going to bring it all together. It's going to be a great source of information that will make you easily one of the more knowledgeable people on tequila amongst your friends and people that you know, with information that is not readily available out there that I've learned over the 10 plus years I've been involved in working with tequila. And I'd love to have you come join me, join the community, and get some information that's going to really help you in the future. So I hope to see you there. It's called the Hombre Cave channel on YouTube, or you can look for the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a podcast listener, if you're not, check it out. It'll be something that'll be great to listen to on the way to and from work, or when you get a chance and want to listen to a nice podcast with some great information. I hope to see you there. I hope you join us, because I appreciate you, those of you that stick and follow and support what I do. So salute. Bye, guys.